The Voice of Truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Sister Caroline Luis Nastor, coming to you from sunny Southern California, District of OCC. Today is Saturday, April 6, 2024, and weather check here is about 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Still a bit chilly, but still sunny outside, but also a great way to show in our spring fashion. So stay tuned for that. And of course, of ways to tune in, we have INCRadio.org. And as you're viewing right now with all our viewers is YouTube with our INC radio channel, DZEM954. And of course, for those tuning in with us live, we encourage anyone in the live chat to give any greetings and also hashtag your locale as well. And with our basic rundown for today, we're going to start off with the reading of comments and greetings. And we can't forget our shout outs to our live chatters out there. And of course, we're our exciting on-air activity with our best dress, so stay tuned for that. And finally, our wonderful main discussion on fashion then and now. And with that, we're going to go on with our CFO in action. Recently, on Friday or yesterday, April 5th, we had our Binhi Forum within our district, within all locales. But of course, stay tuned for all future updates. And I'll pass it on to our wonderful, handsome host here, Brother Nathan. Take it away, Brother Nathan.
Thank you so much, Sister Caroline. So now we're going to move on to the reading of our comments. So let's start off with a couple brethren from the District of Alaska. I apologize if I mispronounce your name, but Sister Florina and Sister Bernie, thank you both for watching. We also have a few brethren here from Orange County, California, starting off with our very own Sister Caitlin. She is greeting us from the local of Anaheim, where we are right now. We also have our brother Jeb, greeting us good morning, INC Radio, Orange County, California, tuning in also from the local congregation of Anaheim. Shout out to brother Kobe. He says good morning, brethren, from the local congregation of Montclair. And also shout out to our very own brother Calvin. He says good morning, beloved brethren, stay warm, hashtag Victorville. All right, so we'll move on to our special guest for our broadcast this morning. If I can introduce our brother Elijah from the local congregation of Anaheim.
Morning, folks.
All right, thank you for coming, brother Elijah. So if we didn't mention it already, this broadcast is all about fashion then and fashion now. So luckily for us, we have our very own fashion expert, brother Elijah, and he's here to talk about his own personal fashion. He even brought some clothes, some of his personal favorite clothing items. We can have that rolled in. Let's do that. Let's do it a little bit. There you go. So, yeah, I guess for this segment, we're just going to talk about some of the pieces you brought here today, Brother Elijah. Talk about how you would style them, what you think would go with what, and the overall aesthetic of what you brought today. Like I said, it's fashion then and fashion now. As you can see, it's on the vintage side of clothing. So kind of works out with our theme of the broadcast today. So without further ado, Brother Elijah, please talk to us about the clothing.
So for today, I did bring these pair of vintage 1990s, early 2000s Lucky Brand jeans. Not sponsored, by the way, but most of all, I do love vintage jeans just because you really can't beat how they made things back then compared to now. And as well as for the footwear right over here, I do have some espadrilles that my dad gave to me. This is very important to me because as of right now, I've kind of switched from looking at loafers and sneakers into more of a unique silhouette for my footwear. And last but not least for today, I do have this Marni Uniqlo collab polo shirt. It's a camp collar polo shirt. And also, we are not sponsored by them as well. Gotcha. And for this, as a Church of Christ member, of course, we can't forget our polos for whenever we are in worship service or special activities. So yeah, this one's very important to me just because it is the first item that I got at my new job. So I'm kind of happy about that.
Very nice, very nice. So yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, right? These are all on the, or as I mentioned too, I guess these are all on the vintage side of clothing. And it's interesting you point out like the different memories you have attached to these items. I feel like that's something that clothing can do for us. We can attach memories to them, bring a lot of nostalgia to us. You mentioned that some of them was your dad's clothing, some of them you bought from your new job. So yeah, I think it's really cool, really interesting that clothing can hold memories for us. So yeah, just talking more about the clothes you bought. What do you think aside from the rest of it? I know it's all blue, but what else would like the blue denim go with? Or what else would the blue shirt go with?
Just so for blue denim in general, because I'm pretty sure everybody has blue denim at their house. It usually goes with a white undershirt, or you can pair it with either beige, yellow. Another cool thing about blue denim is the way that I would wear it sometimes is with a how would I say this a chore jacket. So it's usually workwear jackets. I would say either Dickies, Carhartt, just like how most other people would want to wear them nowadays. But also aside from that, um, blue jeans can be worn essentially with every single type of clothing that you own, especially if you're going for a semi-formal outfit. You can also wear probably a light colored blazer on top of this with just a regular shirt, or you can also go with a tie and your long sleeve dress shirt.
Very nice, very nice. Um, I know I keep bringing back our title, Bastion, and then now, but I don't know. I think it's really cool because, again, you brought up the fact that these are all vintage. These are all previously worn, like by your dad, all that stuff. And it's also cool to think that like fashion, all these trends, like these are all like very fashionable back then. I assume we said like in the '90s,
Like 80s,
80s,
90s, early
90s.
thousands.
Yeah, so it's cool to see, like these different trends coming back. Like who knows what's the next like big trend that's gonna come back,
Definitely. You can never tell.
right? Yeah. So you talked to us about the blue denim. What about like the shoes or like the dress shirt? What do you think would go with that?
So for the dress shirt, as always, that would go well with some black slacks, or you can also pair with some beige khaki or beige pants, khakis. Aside from that, especially since summer is around the corner, you can also wear this camp collar polo shirt with some jorts, jean shorts, or you can wear them with board shorts, just to also encapsulate that summer vibe.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, you mentioned, like it's kind of springtime right now,
Mhm.
summertime right now. Honestly, I mean, I feel like this whole like the shoes, the pants, this could all be a very springtime kind of early summer outfit, right? So yeah, thank you again. Thank you for bringing all your vintage clothes in. I think before we move on to our next segment, we're going to read some more comments. So we have our brother Roy greeting us from all the way in Victorville. Hello, brother Roy. We have our very own Ate Regine. She says, "I have one pair of blue denim jeans. I'm 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 curvy, so it's kind of hard to find great comfortable jeans." What else? We have sister Ophelia, I believe, brother Roy's mom, greeting us from Victorville again. Good morning, po. Brother Franklin, brother Kobe again. He says, "I'm a huge fan of these combinations." If you didn't know, brother Kobe's also, I would say, a pretty fashionable guy too. So we'd love to have you on again when we have another discussion about fashion, brother Kobe. Okay, so I think we can move on to our next segment. So I'll go ahead and introduce our other host, Sister Ashley Mariano from Anaheim.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. As Brother Nate mentioned, my name is Sister Ashley Mariano from the local congregation of Anaheim, and I'm very excited for this broadcast just because Brother Elijah is also from the local of Anaheim. And if you attend the local of Anaheim or if you see Brother Elijah around, he is very fashionable, just like Brother Nate. But to kind of turn it in to our main discussion, we did also want to dive deeper into Brother Elijah's personal style and his personal fashion taste. So I guess to start off the questions, we just want to ask, how would you describe your personal fashion style?
Ooh, that one's kind of tough because to be honest, my personal fashion style is undergoing a little bit of a change right now. But way back then, it was kind of weird, you know. Yeah, but basically, right now, I would say it's like a mix of grunge and I would say vintage. But also, some days I do like to try out what's trending, but it's not all the time, you know.
Okay. Wait, I want to pause because when he said grunge, I was like, what is that? Cool. What does that mean? Because I personally don't know what that means. So you were to explain to the viewers and listeners what grunge means, because I personally would like to learn.
Gotcha. So for grunge, it technically relates to. Don't take me for this because I am not really an expert on this just yet. It's something new that I'm trying out. It's sort of like the punk fashion from early '90s, I believe, early '80s, and I'm trying to take a new twist on that, just how other people are doing right now. But mostly it's like this gray denim right over here, basically. Steampunk hats, something like that. And one staple thing in grunge is also wearing Converse. So I'm trying to wear my Converse so like a bit worn, so that it has like a little bit of distress on.
Wow, you're so descriptive on your
Wow.
words.
Nice. I mean, you already mentioned it too, but it's interesting how people's fashion, people's style, personal style can develop and evolve over the years, right? You mentioned how like you're kind of trying something new or like kind of going outside of your comfort zone. So, what would you say to people who kind of like want to mix things up or like want to try something new in terms of their fashion?
Um, so this is a good question because I used to want to have that answer before, but truly, you just need to be true to yourself because you're supposed to wear the clothes. The clothes shouldn't be wearing you.
Whoa.
Yeah, you know,
And
See
that's
that
the
on
end
a
of our
t-shirt.
yeah, basically, don't hesitate to experiment. If you think that people will think that it's weird, that's their opinion. You know, you just have to let that go.
Mic
But
drop.
as long as you try to express yourself comfortably and you get your point across, then that's what matters the most. What matters is that you're happy with
I love that. I think the biggest accessory anyone can wear is their confidence.
fifty
So,
percent. Confidence is 50% of the whole
There you
outfit.
go.
yeah, man, wise words of Brother Elijah. Okay, well, I know that this might be also a difficult question to answer, but just because you're experimenting, you're trying out these different styles, what would you say is your favorite piece right now? You might not, I don't know if you're wearing it right now, but if not, if you could describe it to our viewers and listeners tuning in, what is your favorite either accessory, clothing item that you have in your wardrobe?
So in my wardrobe, it's also something that my dad gave to me. I think I
Aw.
wore it on a past interview here at INCRadio. It's this big trench coat from my dad.
Wow,
It's a
I think I remember
double-breasted
that.
Gucci trench coat. Also, not sponsored, but that is
Gucci.
something my dad had when he was in his 20s, and he
Oh
passed it on
wow.
to me.
We have Sister Regina also in the comments. I like Brother Elijah's hat. Hee. Very cool
Very cool.
with the sunglasses emoji. Very cool.
No, that's cool. I mean, I talked about it before too. Like, it seems like you gather a lot of not only info but like actual physical clothes from your dad. So if you kind of expand on that more, like how was your um dad kind of acted as your fashion inspo, or like motivated or encouraged you fashionably? If that makes sense.
Gotcha. So basically, ever since I was a young one, my dad has been very fashionable. Um, I always see him wearing three-piece suits, trench coat, really nice formal shoes, Oxfords, not Brogues. And aside from that, I looked up to my dad a lot, especially not just as a fashion inspiration, but as a person to be physically, because he just does a lot for us as a family. So I just want to thank my dad. Thank you for inspiring me and helping me the man that I am
Oh,
Oh,
shout out
shout out
both
to
the
all the
Kasem
dads.
and all
Yeah.
the dads. For yes, we do see Kasem a lot help out local. He's one of our organists here in the local congregation of Anaheim. So shout out to you both. If you're watching, it's your son. So what do you think? I think just looking at the different styles and trends, because I know that even my parents are like, "Oh, this is channel the inner mom." Shout out to Marjorie, but like you see like trends kind of jumping back and forth. I'm like, oh, that was like, oh, this is a whole new thing. Like to, oh, this is like kind of like a throwback thing. Like, how would you say the style is right now? Like I guess in our time.
Okay. So basically, right now, we're moving out. Well, we've already moved out of that phase back in the 2010s, late 2010s of skinny jeans, skinny pants, basically. And we're trying to move back into, I would say, late 90s to early 2000s with sort of regular fitting or a little bit wider fitting jeans and pants. Not only because it's a throwback, but in trends, basically, we tend to cycle back like a couple of decades from wherever we are. So, but of course, I'm not going to lie about this one, but skinny jeans are really good, but if they're only styled right. Because I can see skinny jeans being worn by a lot of fashion models right now, and it looks good on them, but it has to be styled right as always. And as for trend wise, there's no limit to how many trends are right now, especially micro trends. It is very hard to keep up with it. So basically, my advice for what's coming back right now is just be true to what you have right now because one day whatever style you have will be in style.
Yeah, I guess that
That's why our parents keep
circle back. Yeah.
the clothing pieces that they have and say, "Oh, I don't want to sell this because it holds a lot of memories to me." Just remember, one day you could start wearing those in style.
Yeah, I know. I still like my dad has
I was
like
about to say,
these denim jackets.
see.
Like, I think my favorite thing that I honestly like wearing from like my parents is my dad has it's not sponsored, but he has this vintage Disneyland jacket with the old
Ooh,
logo on the
that's
back,
cool.
and it's really odd because in the jacket it has an aux cord with a built-in speaker in the
Oh,
inside pocket.
that's
So I was like,
cool.
man, he's
What?
bumping the jams with the jacket. I was like, that's so innovative. I was like, we need to bring. I mean, a lot of phones don't have the aux jack anymore,
Yeah.
the cord anymore. But I was like, wonder. I haven't tried it because my phone doesn't have the aux jack. If it still works, that jacket's like golden. So I love wearing that jacket.
No, I was gonna say too. I think I'm sure like almost everyone has kind of stolen something from their parents, right? Like I know my dad stole a lot of stuff from him, like his vintage. Like he has a lot of like vintage
They
T-shirts.
steal it.
I mean, like borrowing. Sorry, borrow a lot of stuff. From him.
Kamani, if you don't know where your clothes are, let's look at Brother Nate's closet.
No, I'm not the only guilty one. My sister Ria, she'll steal stuff from both my mom and my dad. Like that, like she'll walk out of the room getting ready, like getting dressed, and they're like, "Isn't that
That looks
my dress?
familiar.
That's not mine."
That's-
He's like, "It's mine now.
That's right.
It's mine now." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Literally, I'll just leave the
Yeah,
jacket.
it's really funny. Like
Does it
these
look good?
all these like old clothes that our parents maybe forgot about are kind of finding new life with us, with like their kids, you know. So it's really funny. It's a really funny thing.
Oh, we do have a question in the comment. What's a micro trend? I think you said it quickly, Brother Elijah, but just to explain to our viewers and listeners what a micro trend is.
So for micro trends, especially if you use social media platforms, like TikTok, Instagram, um, those are just little styles that some influencers try to make viral or make popular. And so one thing that kind of popped off on our radar, because I do work at a thrift store and we have to look for trends so that we know what to buy in and what to sell to our customers. So one is mafia vibe. It's basically like women wearing big fur coats and restrictor hats or trapper hats. And then we have the mafia vibe, which is basically just all linen, cap collar shirt, and loafers. So that's one thing, but that ended in because now
And we're in
and
SoCal,
yeah, and we're
Yeah.
SoCal, so
and it's
it's
already
still
warm.
pretty yeah.
It's already
So
hot.
it's always there's different little things that just pop up here and there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you mentioned, like all the things you see on social media now. I feel like all these micro trends that you mentioned are like further facilitated, enabled by the use of social media. Because one thing can be hot, the next thing it's not. Or like something could be kind of overlooked, or something could be um, not deemed fashionable, but then all of a sudden it's fashion. So it's really like I think a testament to the power of social media, how like quickly the trends can change, like you mentioned. So yeah, really interesting.
Yeah. Another comment we have in our chat is by Sister Ophelia Mamakos from the local congregation of Victorville. Good morning, Paul. She says, Brother Joshua, I believe she's talking about her son, Brother Joshua Mamakos, is good in red polo shirts. Anything brighter, not too bright though, is good with Brother Joshua. Match his personality. Yes, Brother Joshua does have a very bright, happy, colorful personality.
Indeed.
Shout out to you both, Paul, and the local congregation of Victorville.
All right, yeah. So now moving on to our next question. We're kind of breaking down the process of like getting ready for an event or getting ready for your day. So how would you break down your thought process?
Yeah.
So for building an outfit, for my daily wear, I've actually made a little uniform for myself because
Oh.
in my opinion, you have to have middays, like days where you feel just normal, before you can have days that we can dress, extravagantly. So for my wardrobe, my uniform is basically a white dress shirt, a black tie, any outerwear, and either slacks or denim jeans, and then my free. So I don't really have to think much about it. Then when the day does come that I'm either going out or I'm going out with family or friends, I can actually put my time and effort to that and actually put on the outfit that I think I would look the best in.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I think so that you can, when you do dress, I guess, like you said, extravagantly or just a little extra, you stand out more,
Mm.
right? Than just consistently standing trying to like be extra the whole time.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's also a mindset too, if I'm not mistaken. Like, if are giving your 100% per se, like to your fashion, to your style, like every day. Then, like when it comes to like, special occasions or like when you do go out, then I don't know. I would imagine it doesn't feel as special, right? Like you don't feel as confident versus like
Just confident.
you know what I mean, right? And then like when versus like what you said, right? You kind of have a big out uniform for yourself. You know don't go all out all
Yeah.
the time, and then when it does time to go all out, then you're all more empowered, all more.
Yeah, it's kind of like how the Japanese actually have been restricting culture, fashion, especially the street fashion. So that Japan has a lot of working class, always have to work. But when the weekends come, that's when they start expressing themselves through their
Mm.
fashion. So we can see that in the streets of Harajuku, Shinjuku. So there's, that's something that I try to embody within myself as well.
Wow, I'm learning so much.
I know.
Oh my God. Like if you see Brother Elijah, especially in the when we have special occasions within the church, like he looks really good. I think like having kind of like that formula in your head, like what to wear, also keeps things easier to think about, like what's like what style you're gonna go for that day. At least it like narrows you know, have a closet of clothes and then you have nothing to wear.
Yeah, it's like you have nothing to wear.
Personal
I've nothing to
problems.
wear.
Oh god.
Now to kind of reflect on everything, Brother Elijah, just in general, why do you feel like fashion is so important to you?
Well, fashion is important to me just because it not only allows me to express myself, but it also like um um other people can I'll put this in an easier perspective. It's also another Japanese thing. So basically, we have multiple masks that we put on when we're in front of different people. One is the one that we show to our friends, and then like outside, and then family, close friends, and the one that you only show to yourself. So when I think of fashion, it always pertains to how the outside world will be able to perceive me. So whenever I dress well or dress nice, that shows that this person has taste. This person has discipline to know that. Well, this is what I like, but I am not going to overstep my
Yeah.
boundaries. Whatever else is.
Interesting. I was almost philosophical with the whole mask. Whoa, we're getting deep. I thought we were just talking about clothes.
This whole
But no, very
this whole
insightful. Very
you know,
insightful, Brother Elijah.
definitely this whole broadcast, I think Brother Elijah was able to share a lot with not just like fashion tips, but also just like how to build your own self confidence, being true to yourself. You know, so we can't wait to see everyone's new OOTDs.
OCD.
Yeah,
Get ready with me.
Get ready with me.
You
Oh
know
my
what, get ready with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, you mentioned too, this broadcast, obviously we talked about fashion, talked about clothes, but also, the confidence that it gives us and even the memories that they hold, right? That's what we talked about earlier. The fact that it can be what's the bonding thing we have with our parents or friends if so distracted. We're all the same size. It's fun to mix things up. But yeah, it's interesting to see and encouraging how fashion can, and ultimately find us. Oh, we're getting deep again. Yeah, without further ado, did you have any shout outs you want to give to anyone today?
I'd like to shout out my friend, brother Justin Kabuyan.
Shout out, brother Justin.
Yep, he just had his birthday, March 31st.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, and I want to say hi to my brother Andrew, also the one called Garden Grove,
Shout out Andrew.
and my family. I hope you guys are watching.
Shout out to the Cabrales family.
Um,
You first.
Shout out to my family. Shout out to my parents. Thank you, Dad, for allowing me to borrow.
Tomorrow. This whole broadcast.
Tomorrow. Okay, your turn.
Shout out to the local congregation of Anaheim, and also shout out especially to our clear text, Brother TJ and Brother Advil, who make our broadcast possible. So, thanks.
Forgot. So special shout out to our executive minister, Brother Eduardo, our CFO coordinator, Brother Angelo Iranio Vimanalo, our station manager, Brother Arnel Solano, our district minister, Brother Hansel Dios, our district CFO overseer, Brother Andy Nicholas Jr., and our executive producer, Brother Emmanuel. And with that, we'll go off and send it to San Diego. Thank you for watching.
Bye.